everybody, welcome back to Le Petit Château. Today we're in the kitchen and we're going to do a beautiful French style cheesecake. When you think of cheesecake, you don't always associate it with France, but there are some variations of cheesecake, particularly in the Alsace region, and they are a beautiful, light, fluffy, delicate, smooth type of cheesecake, and quite often have a pastry-like or tart-like base or crust, if you want to call it that. You don't often see the biscuit crumb base like what you may be familiar with, but these cheesecakes are beautiful. What we're going to make today is of course going to be French style, because we are going to add in some delicious Cointreau, a beautiful orange based flavour, and you're just going to love it. If we go back a little bit, you can actually see that cheesecakes originate in ancient Greece in 5th century BC. They were actually cheese sort of pounded into patty-like cakes and pounded with flour and honey, and then sort of grilled on a griddle pan, earthenware griddle pan, and served as a cheesecake, often to the athletes. It was actually later seen in medieval Europe. The cheesecake re-emerged in the form probably similar to what we see today, but with that pastry tart-like base, which we will demonstrate today. So for today's cheesecake, you're going to need probably an 8-inch springform tin. The springform tin just allows you to remove the ring around it, and you've got the base here. So get yourself one of those, grease and line it, and I think we will start with the base first, and then we'll go into the mixture for the middle. Here I've got some butter that has softened. Just pop that into a large bowl. And I'll just pop that beater down, get the butter off, and some castor sugar. Just pour that in, and let's go ahead and beat that up for about 4 minutes or so. It's a long time with a hand beater, but we can do this. Let's go. Okay, so now that you've beaten the butter and sugar quite well, we're going to add in our 1 egg, plonk, and keep beating. We're going to add our flour now on a very low speed until it's just combined, because we are making a real sort of pastry-like biscuit crust. So let's go, very slowly. I'm just going to grab the spatula first and just scrape it all down the side, make sure it's all combined and form a bit of a ball here. Whoops. And we can just use our hands to get that into an even sort of looking dough ball. As you can see, we've got it here. We don't want to overwork it. Just a little bit of it's very much like a biscuit dough. I'm just gonna pat it out. Probably could weigh it and divide it evenly, but I'm just gonna wing it and cut it in half. So we've got 2, one for the bottom of the tin, and then we're gonna have one for the sides. 2. Okay, so I've got one of our dough balls out of the fridge. I'm just going to unwrap it, and we are going to have lightly floured hands and pat that into the base of the tin. Not up the sides, just the base. Make sure your oven has been preheated to 180 degrees. Let's go. Getting there. Okay, if you don't want to use your hands, you can actually use this curved side of the spoon and sort of press it in, and that will distribute the pastry dough a bit more evenly as well. So now that we're all done, we're going to pop it in the oven at 180 degrees for about 20 to 25 minutes. Let's go. Pop it Down, let it cool for a little while, and let's move on to our next few steps. So this is very rustic indeed. What I've done is I literally sort of made two sort of rectangular panels and placed them in, and have reinforced it by patting it into the edges and down below, and we're going to pop that back in the fridge until we're ready to use it. What you can go ahead and do is actually get your cream cheese and make sure that it's softened and cut up into cubes. You want your ingredients to be closer to room temperature, and you can also probably go ahead now and crack all your eggs and whisk them up, zest your orange, and measure out everything that you can. So moving on to the filling, preparing the filling, we need a food processor today. If you've got a big stand mixer, you can use that as well. I don't have one, so I use my food processor for practically all my cheesecakes. And if you've measured out all your ingredients and prepared them all, then we can start. Okay, so let's start by putting our cream cheese into the bowl. Should be softened enough, and whiz that up. Now we're going to add our eggs, the ones you've already sort of prepared, whisked up, 4 eggs, into the cream cheese, and just keep processing that until it's a beautiful creamy paste consistency. Okay, beautiful. So now we're going to add in our cream. Some cream into the mix. Our sugar, you'll need your sugar, pour that directly in. Pretty much all the remaining ingredients are going to go in. We've got a bit of flour, only a very small amount, so if you do make this crustless, I guess it'd be really good for gluten-free diets. The delicious Cointreau, pour it straight in, and then we've just got about half a tablespoon of zest to go in, orange zest. Get that every little bit, and let's go and whiz that up. Okay, so our beautiful French style cheesecake is looking pretty done there. It's got a nice smooth top at the moment. To preserve that smoothness, we're going to just let it stay in the oven to settle, probably for about 30 minutes. Then remove it, pop it on the stove, and we'll let it cool down completely. Okay, so here we have our beautiful rustic cheesecake. I love it. It's really quite cool. We've just got it out of the oven, and we're going to let it sit here to cool completely, and then it needs to be refrigerated. Delicious. We are all done. I really hope you enjoyed today's recipe. It's one that you definitely need to make in advance to be able to have for dessert. As you can see, it's later on in the evening now. Time has gone by. We thoroughly enjoyed the beautiful French style cheesecake, and I hope you do too. So let me know what you think. Comment below if you can, and happy baking, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. I'm loving that you are watching and enjoying these recipes that I love to share with you, and I look forward to sharing another one with you soon. So if you haven't already, please go ahead and like, share and subscribe. That would be absolutely fabulous. Alrighty, let's just say au revoir, à bientôt, bye.